We are here with Thom Brennaman, and I want to ask you a few questions about the NFL this season. Firstly, we know that a good defense begets a good offense. What do you see? How do you see the Detroit Lions defense holding up this season?
Well, they've always had major issues, as you know, in their secondary, and a lot of times it's because they've had a lot of guys get hurt. I was surprised. I read a note not too long ago that over the last 3 years they've had 15 defensive backs finish the season on injured reserve. Now that's a staggering number. So now all of a sudden you're having to drop down to maybe who was the third cornerback or the fourth cornerback on your team, and all of a sudden they're having to become the starter halfway through the year. Louis Delmas has not been healthy the last couple of years. Good Lord willing, he's healthy this year. Bringing in Glover Quinn, though, I think was a big addition to their team. I think Chris Houston will hold up fine. Obviously, Darius Slay has had some issues the first couple of weeks of the season. Now he's lost his job, but that doesn't mean that they're not high on him. I mean, he was a high draft pick. So if the Lions want to get to where they want to go, I think that might be the key when all is said and done, because I don't think there's any doubt about it. Their defensive line is very, very good. Their linebackers are very, very good. But the question is, can that secondary hold up?
Now, to go in another direction, how do you see Denver in the future? You got Peyton Manning doing so well, and the team itself looking like a Super Bowl caliber team. How do you see them in the future?
They got to earn it for me. I think they look great in the regular season. But I mean, last year they looked great in the regular season. Not like they are here these first 3-4 weeks of this season on offense. Because Manning is without a doubt now 100%, no questions about his neck, all that kind of thing coming back. But, for me, they got to prove it that they can do it in the postseason because, last year, I mean, they had that game in their hip pocket and they let it get away against Baltimore. And so the one thing I think they do have going for them is I think that they're probably, when all is said, going to end up with the best record probably in the AFC, which means you got to go out and play them at their place, and that's never easy to do.
Now, again, we're going to go back east. Okay. And I have to ask this question. Jay Cutler has an offensive line now. What do you see in the Bears' future?
I think the Bears are one of the most interesting teams in the league because really, if you look at their offense has really not done a ton so far this season. Now, Cutler's delivered the goods in the first 2 weeks in the fourth quarter. He brought him back. Cincinnati handed him the game, but Cutler had to make plays to win the game at the end. But the Bengals should have won that game. Minnesota, on the other hand, now, came down the field late, came back able to take the lead. Cutler again takes him down the field, touchdown at the end. But their defense, like last year, has started this season by taking the ball away. They scored 3 defensive touchdowns last week in a game. The question is, or they have 3 this season, 2 last week. You look at last year, they started 7-1 doing that all the time on defense. Now the question is, if you're counting on your defense doing that all year long, I think you're going to be really disappointed. But I think their offense is capable, as you just mentioned, with a better offensive line. They're protecting Cutler better, and there's no denying that if you give the guy time to throw, he can kill you.